Hello my isolation buddies. Firstly, I made this apron with my own 2 hands. Like, can we just... Maybe you thought that she was just a pastry chef trying to be a home baker, but you're wrong, because she can also make moderately decent but very amateur aprons. Like, is the pocket in the center? No. Is the pocket a little bit lopsided? Yes. Will it fall apart in the wash? Probably. But she made an apron. She made an apron, and it's here and it's on my body. But anyway, we digress. Welcome to today to Julie and Pierre. I'm very happy to have you here as always. I hope that you're well and that you're rested. Today on episode 6, Julie and Pierre, we are making lemon meringue tart. You've all had a lemon meringue tart. You've all probably had some pretty bad lemon meringue tarts. I've had some pretty bad lemon meringue tarts. My nan once conducted this kind of competition survey thing where she went around to all the bakeries around where we lived to see which place had the best lemon meringue tart, because she is a connoisseur of lemon meringue tart and, you know, wanted to find the best one. I was a second year apprentice at this time in the only French patisserie in town, so like it's pretty, you know, you'd think, but no, I didn't win the competition. Never really knew why, which still really weighs heavy on me. I honestly, anyway, yeah, look, she didn't win it. Still don't know why. It was 5 years ago. Yes, I'm holding on to a grudge. Did I ever get constructive criticism? No. Did I ever find out why mine didn't win? No. Was I ever in the race to begin with? Like, did I ever stand a chance? I'm here to redeem myself today. I'm here to prove my nan wrong and clear my name that I can make a good lemon meringue tart, the best lemon meringue tart. And what's better motivation than revengeful spite? There is no better motivation. So Nan, I hope you're watching this, because I'm coming for you and I'm going to show you that I can make the best lemon meringue tart, and you will be spinning your chips and ruining the day that you ever didn't choose me to win your competition, because now you've got all this, you know, you mess with the bull, you get the horns, all right? I take this stuff seriously. I'm a Capricorn, and I know most of you people don't care about that. I sure don't care about that, but someone once told me that because I'm a Capricorn, I take this stuff personally, and I do, because I am full of rage. Today that's what we're going to be doing, and hopefully I can offload a little bit of my knowledge onto you about how to make a really nice lemon meringue tart, and then you can make it and you can show everybody up that has ever made one for you and disappointed you, basically. I mean, why else? So come along, let's make lemon meringue tart together. Let's redeem our names together. Let's prove our grandmothers wrong together. I'm here to support you. You're here to support me. We're isolation buddies. That's the best kind of buddy to have. So let's get started. Episode 6. I'm ready, I think. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. No, I'm ready. I'm hydrated. I took my vitamins, took my magnesium tablets, took my fishy O's. I'm ready to fight. Okay, so I already made my sweet paste earlier, and I am not going to demonstrate how to make the sweet paste. I demonstrated that in episode 1. I understand that episode 1 is probably hard to watch. Look, it's hard for me to watch, but I'm not going to keep overdoing the same things every single time. So I've already made it, but this time I promise to demonstrate how to get this bad boy from here into here. So this is my tart ring. You either have one like this or you have one like this. Now I don't want the bumpy edges today. I want straight edges. So I'm going to use this one and I will demonstrate to you how to do that. You want to know how to make a sweet paste, head back to episode 1 where I demonstrate how to make this. And then sit it in the fridge for an hour before you use it. At least an hour. If longer, it's okay. But no less than an hour. We want to let the butter kind of set up again because you make it very, very soft when you first make it, and it would be impossible to use. So then you're going to get your ring, butter like this, ring, and you just want to rub butter all the way around. Lightly flour your work surface and get your dough in there. You want to give it a couple minutes to kind of get back up to room temp, so it should be kind of squishy. You can press into it, but nothing too soft, because you want to be able to roll it and work with it. Some flour on the top. And then you want to roll it out nice and thin. Then just rub it to make sure that it's all even. You'll be able to feel if there's any parts that are thicker than others, because you'll feel like there I feel a lump. So just roll it down a little bit more. You want it about 1 mil to 2 mils thick, not very thick at all. Then you want to put your ring on your tart dough and cut it around bigger. Just get rid of the excess. You can save that dough for another use, or you probably have enough to make 2 if you have 2 rings, or you can just pop it in the freezer and you can use it at another time. Then you want to grab your dough and kind of roll it very loosely up, sit your ring down and drop it in. Look at that. It's not very even, that's okay. And then you just want to grab it and pinch it down. Use your thumbs. You want a nice 90-degree angle so that you're creating a deeper base as possible, so you can get as much filling as possible. Start gentle, start really soft, because you don't want to break your dough. And then once you've gone around the first time, then just go around again and touch it up and make sure it's all even. If there's any little breakages, this is the time that you can kind of mend them. So you also want your sides to be even too. So if you feel that some parts are thicker than others, like this part's quite thin and over here is thicker, you can either just press him down more, or you can add more to this thinner part if you feel that it needs it. Just grab a little bit and press him on. And grab your paring knife, and sharp side, keep it flat. You want to just and then with your thumbs, just the same as last time, you want to clean off the edge. You'll know how even your sides are, I guess. You'll definitely see what sides are thicker and what are thinner here. So if you need to just clean them up or make them a little bit thinner, just do so and just go around again and clean up the sides like that. Make sure you haven't got any cracks and you're moving, and it can move pretty well. If you need to, just dust underneath him again. Then we're going to transfer it to a tray, and especially if you have one like this, it doesn't have a base. If you can see that, it doesn't have a base, so you need to get him under a tray before it gets too soft. If you have one with a base in it, then that's totally fine. But then we're going to sit them in the fridge for 15 minutes before we start to bake it. When your tart is ready to go, you'll know that it is, because it will be completely firm to the touch and completely set. If it's not, give it longer. We're going to blind bake these bad boys, so you want paper and rice or beans, whatever. I just keep reusing the same things over and over again. Put your paper in and make sure that you get it all the way around the edges to press in. And then you want to put enough rice to weigh down the paper, but to also make sure that you've got enough so that the top also doesn't move. So basically just fill it. Press the rice down and make sure that you're getting it into those edges. I'm gonna bake it at 160, 170, depending on your oven, for about 10 to 15 minutes to begin with, and then we will take the rice out and finish off its baking completely. So obviously I'm making 2 lemon meringue tarts, like why wouldn't I? But now that they've been in the oven, we're going to take this rice out and just keep it, and the paper, you can reuse it. And then we're just going to bake them for another 5-10 minutes, depends how much it needs. Essentially you want it to be like set and then a bit of color around the edge, and then we're going to pop it back in the oven to let that continue to color.
Things within a lemon meringue tart that are key important factors that are kind of make or breaks. Like for instance, your tart shell needs to be baked, so it can't be raw and soggy, but can't be like overcooked and brown and crispy. Your curd needs to have a perfect balance of zestiness to sweetness. It can't be too zesty, can't be too sweet, can't be basically scrambled eggs. Your meringue needs to have a nice balance of sweetness as well, but your ratio of meringue to curd is probably the most important. You need to have that ratio right, just like everything else, just like apple crumble. Ratios, very important.
For your lemon filling, we're going to zest 3 of these lemons into here, and then the lemon juice, which is a weight, so I don't know how many lemons it's going to take, into here as well, with half of the quantity of sugar. Fresh lemon juice is always better to use, believe me. It is weighted, so you could just use, I guess, lemon juice that you buy, but really, 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 it is so much better when you use fresh. It's just so much better. Just do it. Just try it. It will rock your world. I just got lemon juice in my eye. Why do I always get hurt doing this? Oh my god. I've also just put the pod of the vanilla bean that I used for the sweet paste in there as well. It's up to you, but I think it's going to kind of add a little bit of something something. So we're going to heat this one up. And then in a separate bowl, you want your eggs and the other half of your sugar. Make sure that you give these a good mix through so that it is fully combined, because sugar does burn the egg yolks and it will make it very lumpy inside your curd. Okay, once your lemon mixture is boiling, add a bit to this, just like the custard. You want to temper those eggs up. Just about a third. Give it a good mix through. Then put it back on the heat, and you want to cook it out to about 80 degrees, just so that the eggs are cooked out and you're not going to give anybody any salmonella or anything like that. So keep it moving at all times. The egg will catch on the bottom and scramble if you let it just sit there. So just keep it moving. Keep your thermometer in there. Once it gets closer to that cooked out temperature, it will start to thicken up. But you want it nice and thick and glossy. That's what we're looking for. Alright, then take it off the heat. Then you want to strain this mixture off straight away. So nice and thick. Straight away into a cold bowl. Anything that's left over in the sieve, we don't want her. So get rid of her. She's not a part of this. We don't like her. And then you want to let this cool. Okay, then when your curd it's still warm, but not hot from the stove warm. It should be around 50-60 degrees. We're gonna whip our butter, smash our butter, mix our butter into there. Now if you have a stick blender, I would definitely suggest that you use that in this instance. Alas, I do not, but I have 4 arms of steel, so I'm just gonna whip this bad boy in there. If you do have a stick blender, keep your stick blender under the surface and blend it for a good while. You wanna be bursting the fat molecules in the butter and fully emulsifying the butter and the curd to make a really smooth, creamy, buttery, rich, delicious, silky, glossy, you can see yourself in it, you can see yourself marrying it kind of curd. So just a bit at a time. All right, this is the last of the butter. There is so much butter in this curd recipe. So, I think that means it's gonna be pretty good. All right, once all of your butter is in and mixed through and there are no lumps, just keep mixing it for another couple of minutes. I know your arm is probably killing. My arm is killing. I have worked up a sweat and I'm puffed from all the mixing. If you have a hand blender, lucky you would have been done 20 minutes ago. Just keep mixing it. Get it fully emulsified, fully thick, fully glossy. I know it's hard work, but it pays off. All right, I am happy with this bad boy. Nice and thick, smooth, glossy, delicious. Yeah, very good. Let's get into the tart rings. Okay, so firstly, this is the difference between a perforated tin and a non-perforated tin. Probably also has to do with the fact that I have the shottiest oven in the world, but having a perforated tin just makes it so much more of an even bake because you're getting heat from all sides, from underneath, from on top, all over. Whereas when you don't have a perforated tray, your tray is going to get really hot and kind of just bake the base. The sides aren't going to be as nice. It's clearly a less even bake than this one. So I do suggest that you do get a perforated tray. It will just make your life so much easier. But that's okay, doesn't really matter. They're not over or under. Just let them completely cool before you add your curd to them. And pour your curd inside until it's nice and full. And give them a bit of a jibble. We are going to cover this in meringue. It doesn't really matter how beautiful, non-beautiful, everybody's beautiful, but it doesn't matter what they look like so much as long as they're nice and even and nice and full. Then we need to set the curd before we put the meringue on. So minimum 4 hours in the fridge, if not overnight. Probably best to just leave it overnight, but if you make this in the morning and you've got a dinner to go to, minimum 4 hours. Okay, should be. We're going to make our Italian meringue. This is to go on the top of our lemon meringue tart, which means we are going to cook our sugar and water to 121 degrees and add it to our whipping egg whites. So Italian meringue works best for a lemon meringue tart because the eggs are pasteurized, so they're completely cooked out and you can eat them raw and you toast it and then it's like a little bit toasty, marshmallowy goodness, fluffiness. It is the best one for a lemon meringue tart. So we're going to do Italian meringue. So your sugar and your water in a saucepan, just give it a good stir so that you don't have like a lump of dry sugar in there because that will just burn. And then your egg whites, in your bowl to go on your mixer. Once your sugar is fully boiling, it's at about 100 degrees, so you want to start your egg whites on a medium to low speed. You want to add a little bit of volume to these egg whites, but not too much. There's a very nice fine line. So you want to just add some air, and you want to finish off the volumization while with the sugar going into it. So you want it at about half peak, not completely stiff. Okay, once your egg whites are about half volume, soft, and your sugar is 121, we're going to slowly trickle your sugar into your egg whites while they were whipping, nice and high. You want to basically get it there, so between the whisk and the bowl, so that it is getting in there. Not if it gets on the whisk, it's going to flick around and just set to the sides. If it's on the side of the bowl, it's just going to set to the side of the bowl. So we're going to slowly trickle it in at a steady stream, like a mayonnaise, and it's going to be good. And thick and fluffy like this. So if you turn it upside down, there's no movement. Then your meringue is super thick and super fluffy and super gorgeous, silky, beautiful, thick. I've flicked it all over the fucking kitchen. All right, cool. I don't have piping bags and nozzles and stuff, as we know. I'm going to palette mine on. You just want to plop it on there, palette knife, push it out to the sides first and make sure it's completely touched down on the sides. And then once all of the sides are covered and you're happy, you can just kind of make whatever wispy, wacky design you feel like doing. Again, push your sides down first. Move the tart as you need to. Don't try and move around the tart. Move the tart for you, because you run this kitchen, not the tart. The tart does what it's told. You are the boss. So you move it as you need to. Gently, obviously. Don't throw it across the room, because you won't have much tart left if you just whap it around everywhere. Don't let it be in charge. Don't let it walk all over you. I'm going to make this one a little bit smoother so we can see the difference. Not completely smooth though, because we're not vanilla here. Okay, then blowtorching. I have never used this blowtorch. I am very afraid of it. It is massive. It does not have a mechanism in which to trigger light it like I'm used to. So I'm gonna have to, I guess, light it on my gas cooktop stove. Maybe I'll explode my house. I'm very, very afraid. I'm just gonna remove all flammable items, melty items, everything that could be unsafe away from myself right now. Pray for me, honestly. Okay. So, okay. Oh shit. Okay, all right. Okay, we have some flame. Oh no, it went out. It's not working. Okay. Plan B, I guess. No blowtorch. Blowtorch was only ever used for 10 seconds and it shut itself, so I'm glad that I've never relied on that before in my life. Very disappointing blowtorch. You've let the whole team down. We can do it another way. You all have an oven, I assume, with a grill setting. So we're gonna do it that way. So just set it on grill. You literally, it does not need to be in there very long. And so we are going to just dust some icing sugar on the top of this, both of them, just so that then kind of caramelizes onto there as well. Super nice. And then we're going to set it into the grill for like a couple of minutes maximum, just to toast off that meringue, and then enjoy it. Okay, so I mean, they're not blowtorched, but they're crispy. Okay, we're housewives. This is what housewives do. Housewives don't have blowtorches. Silly. Housewives have grills. This is a housewife lemon meringue tart. These are the sacrifices we need to make. I'm okay with that. That's it. Episode 6 done. This small one I think looks adorable. It isn't blowtorched. Kitty. It isn't blowtorched how I would normally do it, but I still think it looks super cute and super pretty. It is definitely crispy on the top, so I think that it's still done its job. Now we taste test. From the look of it, I think we got our ratios pretty bang on. There is a lot of meringue here, but there's a good amount of curd. The depth of the crust really allowed for a lot of curd to get in there. Before you try and cut this, if you have torched your meringue in your grill, put it back in the fridge or something to let that curd set, because you've rewarmed it. It's just going to be a sloppy mess, I assure you. Put it in the fridge, be a little bit more patient, just let the curd reset up just a little bit, because it's going to piss everywhere if you try and cut it without doing that. So now that I've done that, because patience is hard here, I'm not very good at patience. It's going to break in my hand. No, okay. It's going to go everywhere, okay. Yeah. Nan, if you were here, sweetie, this is a redemption and a half. The ratio is good, the curd is really fresh and zesty, and even though there's a brick shit ton of butter in there, it doesn't really taste like it. The meringue is good, it's sweet. The base is crunchy and nutty and delicious, and yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a mess, but it's really, really good. Lemon meringue tart, always have. I mean, it's a classic, who doesn't? But yeah, no, this is really good. Another win. Episode 6 done. What can I say? Nan, I think I've redeemed myself. Trust in what I say when I tell you that this is the best lemon meringue tart I've ever had, even though a second year apprentice Jules would probably fight me about that. She's not here right now, so give it a go. I'll put all of the ingredients down below so you can make it. If you want to make it, the quantities that I will put make 2, potentially 3, depends on your size, tarts. So if you want to make less, just scale them down a little bit. If you want to be a part of this, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications. And if you want to be even more involved in this, head to my Instagram. It is A Sweet Pastry Chef Life. Maybe I'll put it here today, I don't know. You can vote every single Monday on what I make. I put up 2 options every single Monday, and then whatever the people choose is what I do, and then on the following Friday I will upload it for you to enjoy. More informative, maybe slightly a little bit entertaining, and I hope that you had fun. I certainly did. This was another win in my books, and I am very happy to have made it, and I want to thank you for choosing it. Yeah, I will see you next week for episode 7 of Julie and Pierre, whatever that may be. I miss you already, you especially. Have a lovely week. I will see you next week. Bye bye. I'm gonna eat some more of this.
Mm.